They're dumb. The game is either good or it's bad. That's it. And when a game is well established to be good, ironically enough, these guys either quiet down or act like they never actually railed against it at all. Or if there was too much criticism ahead of time, like with Shadows, they can't even fucking admit that the game is actually well received and will turn around and will fucking turn around and still act like, no, you don't understand. Everybody hates this. Everybody hates this. I promise you, please don't play the game. I work for a Chinese dev and they're scared to death of the gooners. We're consistently trying to tell them that shying away from engaging on social will give them room to plant themselves in our community. Yeah. It's funny because I've repeated this dynamic quite a bit. I've told you guys before. I've talked about this before. The developers that make these games fucking hate these losers that create fake outrage and with that have no interest whatsoever in actually ever playing the game and try to make others feel shame for enjoying the things that they're making. Developers put their entire fucking lives into this product. Okay? Why in the ever-loving fuck would they ever appreciate these losers who constantly besmirch every other game franchise and every other fucking developer? Because they understand that they're inevitably going to come for them too. Anyway. It's like how the anti-woke mob have no smoke for yeah, exactly. Baldur's Gate 3 or Cyberpunk, despite both of being gay as fuck, they have a pass because they already think it's cool because before they got brain rot. Exactly. It's the same principle. It's the same principle beyond what I work for a Japanese company and can confirm the nuances. I think people are failing to see that individuals have their own perspectives and certain cultures have their own collective perspectives. Not all one take for everything in one place. That's last reductive liberal aesthetics rather than genuine cultural respect and appreciation. Sir, an upcoming breast milk discovery is about to hit the breast milk towers. We have a scoop about Grums and try to reach him for comment before we publish, but he's shutting down all routes of communication. He's nervous. I know what this is, and I won't say it. It's very funny, though. I won't leak it. I've heard from outside sources. I'm not going to fucking... I'm not going to take their... Except Emilia Perez. Yeah, Emilia Perez is beyond. That's a entirely different situation, okay? I think to get mad at like certain aspects of cultural appreciation or people sharing in other cultures like cultural artifacts and whatnot, and assuming that this is somehow a negative thing and trying to spin it as a negative thing is unironically against human nature. Not that this is a valid logical argument. Obviously, human nature is not a valid logical argument, but like it feels as though you are denying humanity and centuries of back and forth trade, commerce, wars, and how cultures have evolved throughout time. It's stupid. Sharing is fun. One of the most famous developers in Japan saying that people in the industry there don't care about the culture war shit surrounding Shadows. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, I saw this. Oh, wait. Is this the one I was thinking of? Insects should worry about their own lives. This game is the worst trash available in this industry, and the people behind it represent the worst poison in Western modern culture. Let's hope Ubisoft goes bankrupt and all the writers don't get to work with relevant video games ever again. All because he said, I felt bad that it was being criticized so much, but I'm glad that it seems to be doing well in both sales and reviews. Assassin's Creed Shadows originally surpasses 2 million players. Steam's maximum concurrent users also surpassed previous titles. In the UK, it has been reported that packaged version sales are the highest this year. Gamergate bros are so fucking stupid. Goop, like they did the fucking work, so... I'm not going to take their scoop. I'm not going to spoil it. It is very funny, though. We won't tell. 41,000 people in the chat. We won't tell. Okay. Anyway. Oh, now we're good for it. Okay, shut up. President Donald Trump talks Tesla hate on Newsmax, exposes Biden fraud, and we'll do the anti-Hamas protests as well, which I covered yesterday. But then also, obviously, we still are going to be talking about the Department of Homeland Security's actions, including but not limited to the Columbia student that was hunted by ICE, that was able to sue to prevent her deportation. Yun So Chung, a legal permanent resident who has lived in the U.S. since she was 7, participated in pro-Palestinian demonstrations. Immigration agents visited residences looking for her. Insane shit. Also, Rumeysa Öztürk, who was kidnapped by ICE from Tufts. We'll be talking about that and all this other stuff. I think it is really strange, if not terrifying, that this kind of stuff is happening right now in the United States of America. And beyond like some motion on Twitter, there is very little backlash. I have yet to see Democratic leadership call this out under no uncertainty, just like openly say this is completely unacceptable. This is some Gestapo shit. This is fascism in this country. It is unacceptable. It's not allowed. It is terrifying. It is terrifying that this is like one of the most damaging aspects of Trump 2025 so far. And I find myself screaming into the void every single day about it. I keep warning people. I know that there are journalists out there in mainstream outlets that have reached out about this sort of stuff to me and you know, privately, to be like, hey, this kind of stuff is really scary. We're seeing what you're saying. I'm not going to name any names, but it is shocking that like the editorial teams are not necessarily covering this stuff. They're not covering this stuff aggressively, and they're dropping the ball spectacularly. And I think a big part of that is because liberal leadership is not saying anything about it. And it leads me to believe that they kind of like it because they don't fucking recognize the damaging aspects of this. Like the erosion of what remains is what remains is civil liberties that will help you combat fascism is a much larger, much more consequential problem, like a constitutional crisis over refusing court orders on deportation. Is truly fucked up. I mean, these Gamergate continued nonsense is very similar to Gaza. In my opinion, people say they have ethical issues with Ubisoft, so we're going to harass anyone that tries to defend them on a larger scale. They'll say we have ethical issues with Palestine, Hamas, and we're going to support bombing hospitals. I mean, I wouldn't make that comparison, but I understand what you're trying to say. Okay. But without further ado, let's get to President Donald Trump talking about Tesla hate and exposing the Biden fraud. I have to wash my hands real quick, but I'll be back in a second.
Have you heard anything about billionaires on the left, whether it's Soros or somebody else? Have you heard anything about planning, coordination?